Welcome to the channel, Gaming Army. This video finds us playing two drops in our Arctic Cheetah. It is the Arctic Cheetah E, and our first match is a domination match on Hibernal Rift. So as this drop plays out, we're going to dive a little deeper into my thought process on the tinkering with this particular build. Now, don't get me wrong, the Arctic Cheetah E is a very capable 30-ton clan mech. But the question I had to ask myself was this: Self, can we make it better? And the answer I came up with is, I don't know, but let's have some fun trying. So what we did was strip out some of the old weapon systems. Okay, we stripped out all of the old weapon systems. We got rid of all 6 machine guns and both clan ER medium lasers, and instead we put in 2 clan heavy large lasers. Now right away most of you are going, wait a second. That doesn't sound like a very good trade. But here's the reason why. The standard loadout with the machine guns and the ER medium lasers, you have a 43 alpha and a heat delta of 1.53. In the current build, I have an alpha of 36 and a heat delta of 1.23. Now you're really pulling your hair out because you're going, that doesn't sound like an upgrade, that sounds like a downgrade. But when you look at the numbers make more sense. That 43 alpha, 30 of it comes from the machine guns, which means it's about 150 meters and under, as opposed to switching over to the heavy large lasers, which give me that 36 alpha clear out to somewhere in the 550 range. Now, this is going to be a little hotter build, so I do have to be aware of that. But I'm trading heavier damage at a longer range as opposed to more in-your-face damage. How this is going to work out, I don't know, but let's have some fun trying it. And getting back into the action on this particular drop, it's already devolved into NASCAR around the center. And I just keep positioning myself looking for targets of opportunity, trying to get the long laser burns in wherever I can find unaware opponents, and try to avoid taking as much return fire as possible. For that, I'm relying on the ECM. Yes, I did keep the ECM, and I still have my jump jets, and I still have my speed for maneuverability. So I do have a lot of those items still going for me in this particular build. So we're just kind of moving around the outskirts in counterclockwise formation and seeing if we can pick off any targets in the center, especially ones that aren't necessarily aware that I'm here and not paying attention to me. Now, I do need to get some work done because already the balance of power is heavily shifting in favor of the enemy team. I'm not sure this one is going to end well, but we're going to give it the old college try, like with the Huntsman there. He looks like he has some damage. Let's see if we can add to it. And I've gone to chain fire, trying to avoid that, but the shutdown from overheating appears to be unavoidable, and now this drop has gone south in a hurry. So it's currently 3-10. There's only myself and another teammate left in Charlie 3. I'm rotating around the far side. I really don't want to go into the center to try to contest the capture point. I'd rather stay on the outskirts doing damage to the enemy because that will stop their cap for 5 seconds. And up close in a brawling situation, I'm not sure this is the correct mech for that. I would rather take my time and pick out targets of opportunity. I do have a few seconds on the clock to play with. It's just going to be a question of what I can get done as last man standing. So coming around the corner to Delta 3, there's 2 units searching for me, and this Vulcan looks heavily damaged. We're going to see if we can add some more damage to his mech, but it didn't really go as planned. I was hoping that was going to be a kill, a quick kill, but instead his teammates have spotted me. They've called out my position. I'm starting to get focused. The jig is up, and I'm going to be swarmed badly here in short order. So all I can do is continue working on the Vulcan. Let's see if we can get either a back shot or those legs look nice and juicy. Let's see if we can get some Vulcan legs. But he is doing some jumping, twisting, and I am brought down in the meantime by his teammates. So I would say this was a lackluster outing. And switching over to our end screen, we still managed to do 507 damage. Moving on to our next drop. This one has us playing Domination again, but this time we're on Tourmaline Desert. And this should be a good stress test for that heat delta we talked about on this hot biome. So starting this one off, we are in the Echo 6 area. I'm up on the rock outcropping. I'm acting as a spotter, relaying troop positions and movement to my teammates. And of course, I will take the cheap shot wherever it presents itself on the unaware enemies. As this match plays out, let's continue our discussion about this particular build on the Arctic Cheetah. Now, there's some drawbacks with this build, as well as some advantages, and let's dig into those a little deeper, just in case you think you want to try a similar build to this. So, dipping into some of the disadvantages that you need to be aware of, the number one disadvantage to a build like this is the heat. There's just no way around it. Those heavy large lasers are hot. Now I've tried chain firing, I've tried staggering the shots. It helps, but keep in mind that an alpha strike is quickly going to get you up to about 40% of your heat skill right out of the gate. So it is a very hot build. The second thing you need to be aware of and concern yourself with is the weapons themselves. The heavy large lasers have an extended burn time. That means you have an extended face time on the enemy that you are focusing. So that's why it's very important. I keep trying to take targets that are unaware or take them from a sneaky position where I can poke and peek a little more freely and give myself that full burn time to get maximum amount of damage on target. And the third thing, again, centers around our heavy large lasers, and that is the recycle time on those weapons. After you fire them, you're going to be down for quite a while they recycle until you can fire again. Obviously, not ideal if you are going to brawl. So this definitely is not a brawler type mech. Now, what this does bring to the table, as far as this build goes, is you've got a lot more damage at a lot longer range. In the previous loadout, you were counting on your ER medium lasers to deal 13 damage at, say, like 450-ish meters, whereas the heavy large lasers, you're now dealing 36 damage at around 550-ish. It depends on your skills and all that fun stuff. But anyway, for those general purposes. So you basically got about 100 more meters worth of range, and you've almost tripled the amount of damage that you can deal at those types of ranges. Hopefully all of this information helps if you're considering this type of build, or maybe, just maybe it has inspired you for a similar but different type of build. Who knows? But hopefully the information is good and useful. And now we're going to jump back into the action on this particular drop. So it started off pretty slow-paced in that Echo 6 area, and now we've been able to do a push on the right side. The enemy has retreated more towards Fox 6, and they're going to get themselves stuck in that load, which is good for us, bad for them. So I quickly take down the enemy UAV. That lets me know that there is something down around this bend. I just don't know what, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to find somebody. And sure enough, as we round the bend, there is a dire whale waiting for us. So I don't like the damage he dealt out. I'm not sure he liked the damage I dealt out. I back off a little bit, look for some support, let him get focused on somebody else, and then we punch through his center torso killed him. His teammate, the Sun Spider, comes in to try and save him, but he's too late, and we take him out as well. Teammate takes down the fire starter, and now we are quickly racking up the kills. It is 5-7, so it's still nobody's clear advantage, and the poor Kit Fox didn't see us, and we managed to do some damage to him. Fortunately, as you can see, I keep waiting on the weapons to recycle after I fire. Would have loved to have gotten another shot in on that Kit Fox. So checking out the enemy position lets me know that I need to reposition again. I want to come at him from different angles and unexpected places just to be able to maximize what this mech can bring to the table. They had pushed into the center a little bit, so I'm going to come around and see if they will give me some max shots, or at least take them by surprise. And there are quite a few targets here, including the Corsair. There's an Atlas, and there is a Vapor Eagle above me as well, and his teammate, the Rifleman, is a little annoying as well. I don't mind being the center of attention, except for in a mech with an open right leg, so I am definitely going to back off. I need to cool down, and I need to preserve some of my mech, as my right torso is open as well. Now, we've tactically done our job. My teammate and I have managed to spin 3 of the enemy units back to look at us. Hopefully that takes some of the pressure off of my teammates. Now, the Atlas is watching our old position. I've moved to a new position and engaged him from a different angle. I'm going to repeat this just because I'm using those high weapon mounts. You can see his shots hit the dirt, but my weapons were exposed enough that I could get another shot in. I'm going back to the original position. Again, the idea is to keep him guessing, and he was probably looking at my teammate more than me. And we've managed to find the Rifleman from before, and there's the back of the Atlas. I started to go for it, but he was moving too fast for me to get a full burn on, so I switched back to the Rifleman. He is down, the Atlas is down, everybody is down. We're just hunting for the final and last enemy unit. So we're going to shuffle around the board, trying to locate this enemy. It appears he is alive, and it turns out he is the AFK Fafnir. I didn't realize it was a Fafnir. From the beginning of the match, I had spotted him from my perch in Echo 6, and he's been out here the entire time. So we lock him up. Team is adding damage to him so that we can finish this match. No, we're not farming. It's just, this has to be done, right? Right? That's what you keep telling yourself. You're not damage farming. You're just killing the enemy to end the match. And here you can see I've staggered my shots, and heat scale just keeps on going. And this is karma coming back to get me. I shut down as my teammates run out the clock, and I'm denied the final kill shot on the Fafnir. Switching over to our end screen, we do wind up with 2 kills, 2 KMDDs, and 676 damage done.